Previously on Gutter Trash.
We always wind up not talking about a goddamn thing.
Yeah. Some of those people, like, they depend on that to get them through the day.
Well, then you're a fool.
I'm just going to buy my DVD and get out of it.
I'm old now. I don't give a shit.
I'd buy a CD if it was $3 more at, like a record store than if it was at Best Buy.
Fuck the machine!
Ooh, you like Knight Rider too?
The thing that makes the wheel go around.
I guess I've got, right? Because I'm punk as fuck.
Hottest women ever shop there.
Did you drop this dollar, sir?
Did you say something about Target?
Be gone, demon!
Gutter Trash, episode number 20. My name is Eric.
My name is Jason Hill.
This is take 2, and I'm weirded the fuck out.
I'm pointing in the wrong direction.
Yes, you are. This is just not good.
Well, before we were sort of positioned like you were, Chewbacca and I was Han. We were like both looking out the same cockpit.
Yeah.
I kind of like this though. I'm like. It's like we're playing Password now or something.
This is no game. This is serious business.
That's true.
We're on the internet.
This is for the big money. Actually, you know what? Speaking of games, this morning, my roommate was looking for the weather, I guess, and there was this local like high school game show on Channel 7.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
It was like a trivia show.
Yeah.
And first off, my hat's off to Miami Valley for kicking the shit out of whoever this other team was. I forget, it was like Logan County or I forget who it was.
Yeah.
Stupidsville, maybe, because they like more than doubled their score. It was embarrassing. But the best part was the guy from the losing team. His name is John. That actually answered the questions. There's 4 people on the team, and this one guy John answered like every question that they answered. It was this one guy, and he looked so defeated at the very end whenever it was over, because it was like these other 3 bumblebees like ruined his chance. But at the very end of the show, they're like rolling the credits and there's music, so you can't hear what's going on.
Right.
And John, like the camera shows up on John and the kid next to him, and John, straight faced as if he was at his grandmother's funeral, puts the bunny ears over the kid next to him, and then just slowly takes them down. And that was the best part of the show, because it was like his one like, I'm still gonna have fun with this. I don't care that I'm a big loser.
Right.
And I was like, you are the coolest, John. So this drink is for John.
Way to go, John.
Yeah. From Stupidsville.
Which I guess I should point out is not actually a town in Ohio.
Steubenville is.
Steubenville, yeah.
But this, I think it was like Logan or Breyer County or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's worse. And that much better.
So how you doing?
I'm doing okay. It's Sunday. It's earlier than we usually do this, so I'm full of pep.
Yeah.
I've actually gotten like 8 hours sleep for the first time in a couple weeks.
That's usually a good thing.
Yeah. And I got little to no complaints.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Well, cheers to that.
Yeah, here's my deodorizer.
All right.
It's room deodorizer for anyone thinking that I just have weird shit hanging around. I do have weird shit hanging around, but
there's a Dreamcatcher and a Bartman, Radioactive Man poster right behind you.
Yes. And what else have I got around? A shit ton of toys. And
there's a globe.
There's a giant globe that I got as a present from my brother's wedding.
Oh, yeah, because when you think weddings, you think globes.
Well, I was part of the wedding party, and the tradition is to get the groom gives gifts to the people in the wedding party.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was in a wedding party in September, and I got nothing.
You got screwed then, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I got some cheese and crackers.
Well, maybe that was considered it.
All right. Well, in his defense, they were fine cheese and crackers.
I'd like some cheese and crackers once in a while. What kind of cheese was it?
It was like assorted cheeses, like little cubes and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, but everybody got them at the wedding.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like I got a tray of them. It was like, help yourself.
Oh, okay. So this was at the wedding?
Yeah.
Or was it after the wedding?
No, it was immediately following the wedding.
So the reception.
That's what they called it.
Yeah.
That's what they called it. And you're good at this.
I try.
You know the lingo.
Yeah. Well, then I guess, you got screwed. That wasn't a present.
Man.
I think you should hit up that guy for... something.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know he's got a sweet comic book collection.
There you go. He's got probably something you need.
Probably. Yeah.
Some old Silver Age Batman or...
I know one thing he has. He has the old issues of Appleseed that Art Adams did the covers for.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Appleseed was... you remember Appleseed?
Nope.
It was a manga.
Okay.
I think it was by the guy that ended up doing Ghost in the Shell, I believe.
Oh, that guy, Johnny.
Johnny Buttfucker.
Yeah.
Masamune Shiro. And Art Adams did like 2 covers for this manga, and it looks very manga, but you can tell it's Art Adams. It's really weird.
Wow.
So maybe I'll hit him up for that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things that kind of look like manga, we reviewed a comic for this week, Teenagers from Mars.
Yes, we did.
By Rick Spears and Rob G.
That's funny. I was going to mention that I was going to ask you, actually, if you thought that it was manga influenced.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think... Well, I don't know if it's on purpose or not, because I've seen that guy, Rob G., draw in like different styles. But this is like the first thing that he's done, so I don't know if he was still just...
developing.
Right. But there's definitely a manga feel to this book.
At least in certain sequences.
I think because it's been like 2 weeks since I've read this, so I kind of forgot everything about it, and I had to flip through it before we started the show.
Like all the action sequences, especially.
Especially the action sequences. Then there's one scene where a cop shows up, and it's like just this one panel of him, and for some reason, like, when I think manga, like, it's that drawing that I see.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And...
that is very manga.
Yeah.
It's like that...
extreme...
lowered camera angle.
Yeah. So let's talk about this comic.
Well, it came out like 7 years ago, something like that.
Started, I think, in 2001, maybe. 2001, I believe, was because you and I went to space, and I was unemployed at the time. And so, that was 2001.
The Small Press
and Comic Expo.
Not the
actual space.
Not the outward reaches of the universe.
Right. Just Columbus.
Yes. Which is far enough when gas is $2.50. Let me tell you.
Whoa! But we went to the Small Press and Comic Expo, also known as Space.
Yeah.
In sunny Columbus, Ohio, which we'll be going to again this year in April.
April 18th and 19th at the Shriner Complex on Seltzer Road.
I forget where this place was. It was like in a school gymnasium or something like that.
Yeah, I think it started out with like weird, like there's like Holiday Inn, but I think that year, it was like a gymnasium.
Dave Sid was there, as was Farrell Dalrymple.
Wow.
Which he was there like 2 or 3 years in a row, I think.
Yeah, that's right. He was.
Yeah, because you and I went again and got a table, and he was like right behind us.
I think he won some sort of prize.
The day prize?
I don't know if it was the day prize, but at the one when they had it at the Holiday Inn, I remember Dave Sim awarding Farrell Dalrymple, and it was just so cool to see like Dave Sim, this like older, like the grandpa of Small Press Comics, basically.
Right.
And this like kid with like tattoos and like shirts that his little sister can't even fit into.
Right.
And I was like, wow, that's what a passion of the torch or whatever.
Yeah, he is pretty much. I think when I think modern day indie comics, like the next generation of them, I immediately think about Daryl Dalrymple and the Meat House Press guys, and even though he's done work for Marvel and DC now, that's
the sellout bastard.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Speaking of sellout bastard, just kind of tangent for just a second.
Go for it.
In the new previews, there's a book. I think it's called The Destroyer.
Yeah.
By Robert Kirkman.
Yeah.
From Marvel.
Yeah.
What the hell?
He did that before he did his whole manifesto.
Okay, I was wondering. I was like, is this creator owned? Is this something he sold like a year ago?
It was like they announced it like a year and a half ago at like San Diego or something like that.
Okay.
And it's drawn by I can remember Corey Walker.
Yeah.
So it probably took him like this long to even have the first issue done. So
well, that makes sense. I was like,
Yeah.
Is this an April Fool's joke? Does it come out on April Fool's Day? And it's really like just shots of Kirkman's ass inside the book. He let it slip through somehow.
Yeah, this was before his manifesto and creator-owned only thing. Anyway, Daryl Dalrymple's done Omega the Unknown now, and I think he did a couple projects for DC.
Yeah, he did. What was the one? It was like the Jewish rabbi kids.
Caper,
yeah. That was pretty cool. I didn't read all of it, but
I didn't read. I read the first issue. But that's not really who we're talking about.
No.
But yeah, that show where you and I just went and hung out, back in 8 years ago. I stopped by this table and they had a book called Teenagers from Mars, and they were giving away buttons.
Yeah.
And I bought the first issue, and maybe the first two.
I know the first one was out because I actually brought it with me to get him to sign it.
Really?
And he was like, "Wow, you brought it. That's awesome."
Yeah.
I forget which one said that, but he had a Lamb of God T-shirt on.
Yeah.
Back when that band was like
everything to you.
Well, I loved that band.
No, it's I Hate God that you were obsessed with.
I used to love I Hate God, but I loved Lamb of God because they used to be this metal band called Burn the Priest, and I've got like the 7 inches that they did, and they're really, really good. And then once they started being Lamb of God, they were still good.
Right.
But like every album, they just
got worse,
deteriorated.
Yeah.
But I was so excited. I was like, he likes this band and he makes good comics. What a cool guy.
Yeah. So I talked to them and gave them some of the comics I had made at the time, and they asked me like advice about lettering.
That's awesome. Really.
And I told them, I used Illustrator and all that because they were using Photoshop, and you can kind of tell.
Yeah, like on some of the picketing signs.
Yeah.
Some of it's kind of...
But, just really nice guys, and I bought that first issue there. Maybe the second, I don't remember. And I bought their buttons. One which is featured on the first cover.
Ask me about
comic books. And I put that on my coat immediately, and my girlfriend and I had just started dating like a few months before then at the time, and I just I would point to it and say, "Ask me about comics."
To her? Or
just to her, yeah.
Okay. I know, like when you guys are out and about.
Oh, well, I do it everywhere.
Right.
But but it would only be to her.
At the market.
Ask me about comic books.
You guys are at the market picking up coffee or whatever.
Yeah, ask me about comic books. And she would. And
you would always know.
Oh, yeah.
You would be like...
Because I'm a big fucking nerd. And that's why we no longer date. Anyway, now.
Oh, man. Great story.
Yeah, thanks. I'm always there bringing it down.
But yeah, they were super cool.
They were super nice, and I enjoyed whatever I bought there so much that I actually made sure that you guys ordered it from Matt Mavericks, or at least you, and personally, because
right.
Because I can't really trust you guys at Mavericks as a whole. I can trust you on a personal level if I remind you.
Yeah, if you remind. I have a terrible memory. I can remember any name a Magic card, and I can tell you what set it comes out of. But that's like the only, and I don't even play Magic, but for some reason I have that knowledge.
Yeah.
But everything else I forget.
Well, yesterday you were sporting a Magic hoodie
for like 2 minutes. They send us magic hoodies when I work, and I have to admit I was really excited. I was like, I'm gonna wear this. I mean, like not just at work, but when it's cold outside.
Yeah.
And then I put it on, and there's like these giant mana symbols all over the front of the hoodie, and then like on the sleeve is this embroidered Magic the Gathering. And I was like, no, I'm totally not gonna wear this after all. I changed my mind because I could see it. I mean, it was so huge. All the mana symbols are like the size of like Jabba the Hutt's nipples.
Okay, well, yeah.
But yeah, okay. I really liked this book when it
first came out.
Yeah, and I read it issue by issue.
Yeah,
and I want to say, I think it's even better the second time I read it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I liked it so much more this time.
Wow. Okay. I didn't hate it, but I certainly did not feel the amount of love that I had for it when I first read it.
Okay. Here we go. Round one.
Yeah, no, because mostly what I have to say is positive. Because I enjoyed it so much the first time, and I still enjoyed it, but just not as much as I remembered.
Okay. That's so weird. Because I was like, okay, you picked this book. I've read it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it very well because it's been 7 years, and it's not a Magic card.
Right. Yeah.
So, But I reread it, and I was like, I can't believe I haven't reread this before.
Right. I don't think I've reread it between the time the last issue came out and before 2 weeks ago or whatever. But I remember like when that last issue came out. I think what happened was that the issues were coming out so sporadically.
Yeah.
That like after like the third issue or whatever, I was like, I'm just gonna wait until they're all out.
Yeah.
And I think I read it all in like that one chunk then. So, but that was like 5 years ago.
In his defense, though, his apartment burned down.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, you got to think like, what's Joe Mad's excuse?
Right.
Like after 4 issues of the Ultimates, they're like, it was a 5-issue series. That's right, 5 issues. Yeah.
Issue number 8 came out in 2003. First issue came out in 2001.
So yeah, it took about 2 years.
Yeah,
year and a half, whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. His house did burn down, so I think we can give him some leeway on being late.
Yeah, it's like him and Michael Turner are the two guys that have ever been like, okay, you can be late.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah,
you've got cancer. Your apartment burned down.
Yeah.
I'm digging it. I can get behind that.
Joe Mad, Halo 3 came out.
yeah. It's like, sorry guys, maybe in 10 years.
Yeah. I don't even remember. Newsarama had a story about Rob G's house burning down, or his apartment, and like they set up like a PayPal fund for people to donate. And
that's so cool.
Yeah. So way to go, Newsarama, for that.
Yeah.
The one good thing that's ever come out of Newsarama.
I didn't even know what Newsarama was until like 6 months ago.
You don't really want to know what Newsarama is.
But yeah, good job, guys.
Yeah. Well, Matt Brady specifically, the head honcho over at Newsarama.
Nope.
Yeah. But yeah, house burning down, that's fun. Wow, I thought I drew that for a minute. But,
that's Spidey and his amazing friends.
Yeah, but no, that's not one of mine.
Let's see. So yeah, what parts do you think didn't hold up as well?
It's not so much that it didn't hold up, it's just that I thought it was a little slow.
Okay.
It just seems really padded in certain places. It could have easily been a couple issues shorter, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I love the mood, like the stuff where he's like just walking around, and when he like kind of looks in his neighbor's windows, and when he's walking down the road. I think it really does set a good mood.
I can't agree with that.
Really?
Because by the time you get to the last issue, and the end of it, and everything's happened that's supposed to happen in it, it just seems like some of the stuff like that seems really out of place with where they eventually went with it.
Well, see, I have a theory too, because I think this is the same reason I didn't like it as much the first time. I don't think I really got it the first time I read it. Like I think back then I was like, wow, this series started out really strong, and then it just got weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was still okay, but this time I was like, I think what they did was they kind of built it up. Like the first 4 issues was kind of like a slice of life, like this normal American life. I mean,
right.
I mean, a little odd because he's like, fighting kids and vandalizing stuff, and
right.
Zombies. Well, a zombie movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, that kind of reminds me of all the punk rock teenager kids I know.
Right.
But to me, it was a very believable slice of life. And then around issue 5, it just kind of turns into what I didn't realize before, but I think now I realize it kind of turns into a comic book, whereas like weird action and crazy characters show up, and to me before that kind of lost me and kind of threw me off a little bit. But I think this time the car chases and the peg legs and the like wigs and the gunplay and all that to me now is like, wow, they're saying like this is what comics should be. This should be fun and creative and expressive and it really did just like fucking kick me in the teeth with a sledgehammer this time. And like last time I was like, yeah, this was cool. But this time it kind of blew me away.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I can see that now. Yeah.
That's cool. But I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I'm just saying that's what I got
that's
out of
what
it.
You get, right.
That I didn't get out of it before.
Right. I mean, I like most of the characters in the book, and I like that they did. I do like that they spend time letting you get to know the characters and letting their relationships with each other build up.
Right.
I just think it could have been done quicker.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. It just there seemed to be like a lot of stuff in it that just was unnecessary or just plain didn't fit. One thing that I think it's just maybe it's one of those things that you're feeling is like it's a comic book. Mm-hmm. The magic bullet, the musket ball.
Oh, okay. Was it magic?
What else was it?
Maybe it still had some sort of. I don't know why it exploded. Yeah, like when they threw it in the air. You're talking about when they threw it in the air? And
they threw it in the air and it came down and it exploded and it was hot and then it rolls away and like leads them somewhere and
then there is like maybe that's like a little tinge of what's to come. Like maybe that sort of thing. Like when she like scrapes some of that dust off the mirror and then blows it on him.
Right.
And then like he sort of wakes up and then they use that again later whenever things are like in full comic book mode.
Right.
Like maybe those are just like little keys of like here's what's to come. It's not going to be totally played straight. Maybe it's like a hint.
It could be. Yeah. Well, I mean, the book does start out with grave robbery. So,
yeah, I know, and like, that to me is like horrible, grave robbing.
Right.
But I can't help but be like, yeah, go for it. Yeah. These kids want to buy a comic book.
Exactly. Yeah, they want to buy the first appearance of
Captain Tomorrow.
Captain Tomorrow.
I wrote it down. It was beyond adventure, and like that's another thing I loved about this is this is a comic book about comic books. I mean, they mention. They like Beyond Adventure and Captain Tomorrow are made up, but I mean it kind of like reminds you of all the weird Silver Age,
right.
Expensive books that you drool over. Like as much as I'm trying to be like I'm into graphic novels and it's an art form. I'm actually buying a copy of Fantastic Four #9 for $150 next Monday from a guy that he's buying from Cleveland. I mean, like. I'm a nerd, and the comic book nerds are always going to be nerds, and like old '60s books with rare appearances is going to make you wet if you're into that. I mean, even no matter how many times you read Blankets and cry, you're still going to love having the first appearance of Iron Man.
Right. Yeah. If keeping it somewhat topical. Action Comics #1 is going on auction this weekend. Expected to sell for $400,000 if you had that kind of money to just spend.
Oh yes. Yeah. Exactly. I mean that's a ridiculous like example because that is like the
most ridiculous possible.
But if I was like
if
Nicolas Cage or or Vince Neil or whoever that has owned it, I could give up my yacht or like
Vince Neil.
Yeah, he has a comic book collection. Vince Neil, singer extraordinaire from Motley Crue. There's an episode of VH1 Cribs where they showed his apartment and he had, or his house. It wasn't an apartment, but he had this file cabinet full of Silver Age comics.
Wow.
Yeah, who would have thought, right?
Yeah.
He's like
Dr. Feelgood. Wow.
At 1 minute he's doing anal on Satanic Twins, and then the next he's reading old Harvey Kurtzman books. Who would have known?
Sorry to interrupt you there, but it threw me.
No. But I could never justify spending $1,000 on a comic.
Oh, right.
But I would give up some meals to have $100 comic.
Yeah.
So if I was rich, I'm sure I would be that guy.
Right. We were talking about a comic.
But I like it because like it starts off even the first issue has him making comics at like a Kinko's type of place.
Yeah.
And I've been there 100 times. Yeah. And like you hardly ever see that in a comic, especially one that this isn't exactly an Image or Marvel book.
Right.
But the only time you ever really see something like that is in like in a mini comic where a guy's like he's telling about his story.
He's telling about making a mini comic.
Yeah, he's like talking about but in an actual story, that is so cool to see it in there. So to see a character that's making like one of the main characters making he's making comics.
Macon is making comics. Yeah.
Making
Macon like bacon.
Making like bacon.
Let's talk about Macon. Macon works at Walmart.
I wonder what that's a spoof of.
I have no idea.
Target?
I'm gonna say probably
Gold Circle.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe Hills.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I loved Hills. The soft pretzels and ices and G.I. Joe toys.
Hell yeah.
Wow, take me back.
We can drive by there later.
The empty
Hills. That is sad. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm so depressed.
But you gotta. I know you don't like the parent company of Walmart or whatever. You hate Walmart.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't shop at Walmart.
Yeah, and Walmart is of course a parody of Walmart, and I have absolutely no problems with Walmart whatsoever because I'm a Republican, and but you have to admit that in this world where Teenagers from Mars takes place, their Walmart has a comic book section.
Yeah, and like even like racks of them, not just like one of them. Because it's kind of a spoof of Walmart, but it looks more like a corner grocery inside, like a big corner grocery.
Yeah,
I mean, he just works at this sort of corporate grocery department store type of thing.
Yeah,
and he kind of goes crazy and wants to quit.
Well, what happens is he sells a copy of a comic to a kid whose mom freaks the fuck out, and it's like. This actually, I saw this happen once. There was a comic book store that used to be like a block away from my house when I lived with my parents, and called Final Frontier. No, it wasn't called Final Frontier, was it?
That's a Star Trek movie.
Yeah. Fuck, I can't remember the name of the store. It was like a block from my house. I even worked there, for Christ's sake.
Is it the one that had paintings of like Swamp Thing and stuff on the walls?
It had paintings on the window that I did.
Oh, okay. There was one that had paintings on the walls of the comic book characters, though.
Yeah, it was on the windows. I did those.
I remember specific on the walls because like you go through the back issues and it was like right in front of you.
Oh, yeah, I don't know
maybe
that.
it was a different one. Maybe.
Could be, yeah. I want to say this was Final Frontier, though.
Maybe that's Final Frontier. That sounds
Is it
familiar.
Beaver Creek?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, Spicer Heights. Now I'm like leading people to where I live or where my parents live.
Yeah, here's their the combination to their lawnmower
it's,
shed.
3776. The security alarm code is But no, yeah, when I used to shop there, this guy, the guy who owned the place, this woman came in and started berating him for selling her son a Wonder Woman comic, and calling it pornographic and just obscene.
Really?
Yeah.
It wasn't
Wonder Woman.
It wasn't like a Tijuana Bible version of it.
It was John Byrne's Wonder Woman. And of course, John Byrne can't draw women worth a shit.
Right.
So, I mean, she looked like a dude, pretty much. A dude with tits. And...
that is obscene.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But anyway. So essentially that's what happens to Macon in this story, is that, the most innocuous female superhero comic is sold to this little kid and his mom freaks the fuck out.
Right. And
it spurs his boss to decide that they're going to shut down the comic section.
Get rid of them all.
Yep.
One bad apple, that sort of thing.
Yep. Which Macon argues with him about, and
gets in a fist fight.
Gets in a fist fight with his boss.
Which was great.
Yeah.
Because, that was like the first little scene where you're like, that probably wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
He'd probably just quit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And of course, we also meet the other main character,
Madison.
And she's just shopping there, and some guy comes up and drops something on the ground and then looks up her skirt.
Yeah.
And she beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
And she gets ejected.
Yeah, and she gets thrown out of the store.
So they have that similar thing now. They've both been kicked out of Walmart.
Yeah.
And that's where the spark ignites.
Yes. But it also seems like he's, I guess he sees her as she gets thrown out of the store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's like, who was that?
Right. So at home he starts drawing his comic, which looks like probably the biggest piece of shit comic on the face of the planet.
It looks like a comic that you'd see at Space, and you'd be like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
You seem like a really nice guy. Yeah, but it's cool that he incorporates her into the comic. After he sees her, he's like, wow. And then he meets her again at a zombie party, which, if anyone out there is going to have a zombie party, please let me know.
Me too. I hate parties and I hate socializing, but I would go to a zombie
party.
Would
totally love to be in a zombie movie as a zombie, or just I'd sit around and drink and watch Seth Rogen movies dressed as a zombie. I don't care.
Yeah.
If we're all looking like zombies, I'm in. I don't care what we're doing. That's all I'm saying about that.
Yeah. I'm down too.
All right.
I love zombies. Love me some zombies. Anyway, so they meet there. Do they hook up there? Or?
No, they say hi again, and then he leaves, and then she picks him up walking home.
Okay. Right.
Or no, she gets out and walks with him or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. And so then for a while the comic is just about their relationship. They're getting to know each other, and they vandalize Walmart.
Yeah, which is such a good way to have a first date. Vandalize a department store together. We've all been there.
Yeah, and I don't know if they do it on purpose, but they wind up breaking the window, and he just takes advantage of the opportunity.
You know what that reminded me of? That scene. It reminded me so much of the scene in Ferris Bueller's Day Off where Cameron is going off about his dad and he's kicking the car. And then, he just kicks it one time too many because they're just kind of chucking, pebbles at the sign.
Right.
I hate this place.
Right.
Tink!
Yeah.
And then, that last kick of the car and that last throw of the pebble, shattered, the sign shatters and the glass falls and they both kind of are like, whoa.
Yeah.
And it totally reminded me of that scene.
But he goes in and he spray paints. That's in the second issue, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Graffiti's the walls.
Graffiti's the wall with Comic Book Liberation Army.
Yeah. Because they had just got rid of all the comics. So he's pissed.
And I have to say that I wish there was a Comic Book Liberation Army.
Why can't there be? There's got to be.
I hope that there is. I hope there is.
Well, there's the CBLDF.
Yeah.
Which they mention in the book.
They do.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that they do that.
They also mention Michael Diana.
Mike Diana.
Yeah.
Boiled Angel.
Boiled Angel, yeah. Now, I've seen some of his comics.
I was going to say, let's talk about him first.
Yeah. And they're not good.
They're not bad though. I actually have. I've only ever seen one book by him because, yeah, his comics, Mike Diana's comics, they're really hard to find.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen one copy of any of his comics, and I bought it. I was in Massachusetts, and I saw it at a comic book shop, and I bought it.
Yeah.
And it's called Superfly. That was the name of the book. I've never even seen Boiled Angel. I've just heard about it.
Right.
But yeah, it's really bad. It's like something like maybe like a 15, 16-year-old would do if they were huffing glue.
Right.
But it's kind of funny at the same time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not great stuff, but the idea that this guy is not allowed to draw comics anymore
Right.
because of an obscenity charge.
It is illegal for him to draw.
Yeah. Even
Let's say that
yeah,
again.
yeah.
It is illegal for him to draw.
He's not allowed to draw by law. Not even publish.
Right.
He can't sit on the crapper and draw pictures.
Yep.
Without breaking the law.
Yep.
And they have the rights to enter his house without warrant and check on him. They made him go to ethics courses. They made him do community service. They fined him. They decreed that he's not even allowed to talk to minors.
Yep. Because he self-published a mini comic called Boiled Angel,
Yeah.
which someone found obscene.
And I can tell you, I've read comics much more obscene than the Superfly comic.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty bad. I mean, there's like a guy jerking off while a kid like licks his scrotum, and a zombie lady like shoves shards of glass into his penis.
Right.
But I have actually read worse.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Guar has published comics.
I would say 90% of all manga is worse than that.
Yeah. We have some shit that defies the boundaries of perversion that are special ordered in my work. But yeah, to me, it's unbelievable. I mean, like, I would never like say, "Hey, Mike Diana is a great cartoonist.
No.
I want to hire him to do a commission." But it's fucking crazy that he's not allowed to draw comics.
Yeah.
And that is even a possibility in this country.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's obscene.
That is obscene.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Let's just do a fist bump.
All right, fist bump.
Ow.
Ow. That's my drawing hand.
That's my drawing hand, too.
And my jerking off.
Well, I go lefty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I always do the left bum at the end.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm not into that. So.
You always have to clean under your nail. It's kind of...
So who's bringing the show down now?
Oh. I'm equalizing. I wrote something else down about Mike Diana because actually I went back and I dug out that Superfly comic because I haven't seen it in years, and I reread it, and you know it's pretty raunchy,
Right.
but I mean that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Somebody send that guy some money. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna find his address and just send him like a $30 bill.
I can't afford that. I may be losing my job, so keeping on to all my money that I got. But I wish you luck, and I wish Mike Diana luck.
I'll try to. Yeah, seriously.
Because like I said, I don't think he's good at all. Mm-hmm. But that's no reason that he should not be allowed to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, especially since there's absolutely worse shit out there than anything that he has.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's just like the one that they happen to target.
Yeah.
I mean...
And he has become the poster boy for comic book censorship.
Right.
And, yeah, it's frustrating.
I mean, have they heard Howard Chaykin's name?
Right.
I mean, I mean, come on. Robert Crumb. I mean, shit.
Right.
I mean, I've seen countless books where he draws himself being like... having oral sex with a racist character, over and over. I mean, that's okay, right? Who cares? Yeah. Nobody cares.
So this book, then. Comic Book Liberation Army, Aiken, Madison.
They get together. They sort of bond over their hatred of Walmart and the authorities.
Love of zombies.
Yeah. Then they do it.
They do it. They
nasty.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The four-legged animal. Or the two-legged... The two-backed beast.
Yes.
Whatever.
I
don't know. I haven't had sex in so long. I don't even know what it's called anymore.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is. They. Oh well, Macon. Madison discovers Macon has a knack for getting the shit beat out of him.
Yeah. He's quite good at it.
Pretty horribly. He's a worthless fighter.
Yeah.
But he's always getting into fights.
Yeah, he won't back down, but he gets his ass kicked every time.
And she really sort of respects that. Mm-hmm. That, like, he's not afraid about getting hurt. But, he knows that he's never going to win any fight.
Right.
But he'll never back down from it either. So, it turns out that she actually kicks a lot of ass. She's much tougher than he.
Yeah. How does... what I can't remember is how does it get to the point where they've confiscated his artwork? That's what I don't remember.
The police investigate the vandalism at the Walmart, and they discover the spray paint can that he used to graffiti.
Fingerprints.
It
all comes back to fingerprints.
Yes.
Oh, no, we cut that out.
Yes, we did. But that's how they discover.
They actually seize his artwork, Mike Diana style, from his apartment.
And arrest him.
Yeah. He gets out of jail, though.
Yep.
And when I think this is around issue 6, and I swear this, it literally worked me up. I was, pissed off. When he gets out of prison, the guy from Fifth Planet Comics pays his bill, Stan, which I love Stan. He's some stoner guy that owns
He's a revolutionary hippie who
has conspiracy theories. But he bails him out of jail, and he puffs up the one large, and as soon as he gets out of the jail, he sees they're burning comics in the streets. Parents have got this big pile of comics, and the news media are there, and everybody's freaking out, much like the Dr. Frederick Wortham EC stuff from the 50s. Which I thought was awesome how they keep bringing all this actual history of comics and censorship and the parents freaking out about the kids being warped or whatever.
Right.
They bring it all into play in the story and fictionalize it.
And then I think from that point, that's where the story starts heading towards more this is a comic book.
Yeah.
Right? And
I think as soon as they get that car out of the garage, that's where it starts.
And Macon and Madison formulate a plan where they're going to liberate the pages that he drew of his comic.
Yeah,
his last issue.
His original artwork is
it's been confiscated
by the mayor or something.
Right. And so they take one of the grave robbing kids. There's 3 grave robbing kids. One of them is the one who has the musket ball. They take him and pretend to kidnap him.
Right.
And
so he can be their getaway driver.
Right. Stan, the comic shop owner,
pretends to be
their lawyer. Yeah. And they go in with a shit ton of guns and masks. The guns have rubber bullets, though.
Yeah.
I guess. Is that his dad that he gets that from?
It's the little kid's dad, I think.
No, the little kid's dad is the
DA. That's right.
DA, yeah.
Oh no, I think it's just some trailer park guy that he hung out with before.
But I think that was his dad.
Was it?
I think that was Macon's dad.
Okay, I didn't pick up on
the mullet. I think is what gives that away.
Well, I had a mullet when I was a kid. That doesn't mean Billy Sheenan from Mr. Big's my dad.
But you don't know Billy Sheenan from Mr. Big.
This is true.
Let's see.
Okay. But that part is so much fun.
Yeah.
It's it becomes this crazy, over-the-top action adventure.
Yeah, they break into City Hall to try to get his comic pages back.
How cool is that? I would totally do that if they stole my comic pages.
They attack the mayor.
My favorite line in the whole book: "Remove the gavel." That's hilarious. Oh my gosh, that scene was awesome.
Yeah,
because it's you can almost hear the music.
Yeah,
it's like a Quentin Tarantino over the top action sequence.
Yep. It's probably my favorite part of the book. Like I said, it's just getting up to that point, I just think it took a little too long.
Like it could have been like you said, an issue or two shorter.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I don't know if I agree yet, but I know where you're coming from.
Right. But once we get to that part, it's just like, oh, I wish this would go on.
Yeah.
And like even when the book ends, they hint at a sequel, but it's been 5 years. There's no sign of it yet.
But it's one of those things too where,
it might not live up to it.
Yeah, and it was so over the top. The sequel, like it's like 5 years later, 10 years later, whatever.
Right.
And that part reminded me so much. Like I mentioned Tarantino a minute ago, but that part reminded me very much of like a Tarantino-esque, like where they all have wigs and a very like Natural Born Killer style.
Right.
Just over the top, like almost like a parody of that sort of thing.
Right.
And I loved it. I think. I want to say like. I even like as soon as I got in reading this, I was at school, and I went online and I was like, I'm going to order a couple copies of that trade at my work because I need to push that on people.
Yeah.
And it's not even in print anymore. Like Diamond doesn't even have it anymore.
Really?
Which I think is a tragedy because I can honestly say I think this is one of the most underrated small press books from the last 10 years.
It's high praise.
Yeah. And coming from me,
right.
like that's like the thing I love most about comics is the small press, like the little guys and the experimental nature of that sort of thing.
Right.
And this is one of my favorites of recent years.
Can you order from them directly? I know they have their own. Because, like, if you look, this did not come out from any company.
Really?
Like, they didn't even bother publishing this under any kind of company
I think
banner.
you're right. I think it was under Teenagers from Mars, and the previews had in whenever we originally ordered them.
Yeah, and I know they have. I don't know if they work together anymore or not because they did a graphic novel called Filler, which I also own, and it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Way different than this, more along the lines of like Criminal or something like that.
Okay.
And I know they did a backup story in Detective Comics.
I heard about that. I read that in the letters pages. I was like, what?
I want to go back and see if I can find those.
I know.
But I'm sure
craziness.
the main story in those are probably terrible. But
probably.
Early 2000s Batman. I'm sure those.
Yeah, I love Batman. I've got a box of nothing but Batman comics, but that was a low period in the Batman saga.
But I know Rick Spears. He did he's done stuff here and there, but the last thing I remember him doing was Pirates of Coney Island.
Oh, he did that?
Yeah,
really?
He was the writer on that, and I bought that book purely on just what I remember from Teenagers from Mars and how much I enjoyed it, and I really liked it. But there's 2 issues left that haven't come out, and it's been like a year and a half.
That's strange.
Yeah, and the artist is now working on other books, so I don't know what that'll happen to it.
Didn't one of them do Couscous Express, or is that...
Rob G. did Couscous Express with Brian Wood.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there's like even an ad in the back of one of these.
I noticed there's shout-outs to like Channel Zero. There was like a in-store sign in Brian Wood and Astronauts in Trouble, and like I guess they're friends with some of those guys.
Becky Cloonan and that whole crew, I guess. Yeah.
So that stuff is great. I love it whenever they can incorporate that without hitting you over the head with it.
Right.
Like they're like shout outs and little tips of the hat like that.
Yeah.
I think it adds to a lot to a story whenever you can relate something from our reality.
Right.
But it doesn't like unfictionalize the story.
Right. It doesn't take you out of it.
Yeah. Right.
Something else I was going to say. In the last issue, there was one line that I loved. It's when the little kid who's their getaway driver, hostage, whatever, he decides to sort of help distract the cops from what's going on by revealing himself to like the main detective.
Yeah.
And so everyone like storms around. Oh my God, are you okay? Are you all right? And it's the mayor.
And the main detective guy.
Is it the main detective guy?
The peg leg guy.
Okay.
Yeah, he's there.
And then some other woman. A woman.
Is that the attorney? Patch. Yeah, she's like the mayor's assistant, I think.
Okay, so the mayor has the hook for a hand. the secretary has an eye patch and the detective has a peg leg.
Yeah.
He's like looking at them. It's like, you know what? You 3 people would make one good pirate.
See, I love that too because that was pretty like blatant.
Yeah.
But that series is really funny and a lot of it's like subtle humor. I mean, there's a lot of just like quiet, kind of funny scenes, like, you know, without even dialogue or something. I don't know. I think it was a really well-rounded series. I mean, because it made you like these characters, but it also didn't take itself too seriously. What was I going to say about that? Oh well. I'm sure there is something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I love how it becomes like when it starts becoming a comic, and you sort of realize it. Like, you know how they have the rubber bullets,
Right.
and then the cops don't, but somehow, you know, they don't get killed by the cops, and
Right.
and like that's like kind of unbelievable. Like the SWAT team are like, you know, whimpering and calling for their mommies. And
Yeah.
when they get shot with rubber bullets, and even when he shows up, you know, something bad happens to Madison. I don't want to spoil it, but
Yeah.
Macon has to take her to the hospital, and he shows up, and they all recognize Macon because he's been on the news.
Right.
And instead of turning into the cops, he's like, I'll give you a head start. Like, you can wait till tomorrow before I call the cops. And
Yeah.
he's like, really? And he like pops open his shirt, and he has a Captain Tomorrow T-shirt on. The doctor does. He's like a comic book fan, and,
Yeah.
and he's like, you know, just because he's a comic book fan, he's going to risk being put in jail to save a fugitive.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of stuff is so great. It's so comic booky.
It's very comic booky, and it also, at the same time, I think, like that scene in particular, makes me wish that, because like when you go online, like on Newsarama or comic book resources, comic fans seem to just hate each other.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I like Superman, you like Batman, you're a fucking douchebag because you like Batman.
Right. Why
And
is
I
that?
hope that you're dead.
Why is
I
that?
want you to die. Die, motherfucker, die.
That'd be like, you know, if you like Judas Priest and your friend likes Megadeth and you can't go to the Monsters of Rock show together.
Right.
What the fuck, people?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's comic books.
Yeah.
You know, this is the one thing that we all have in common. Let's...
Besides our mutual virginity.
Right.
But yeah, like, in the immortal words of Rodney King, why can't we all get along?
Seriously.
Yeah, seriously.
Really. I mean, who gives a shit that, you know, just because I don't like character A or book A or creator B or whatever, you know, what the fuck? You know, it's all art.
Yeah.
You know, it's all subjective. Why does it matter?
Right.
We all love this format. You know, let's push aside all the bullshit and just let's fucking work together as a community.
Let's hold hands and read Booster Gold.
God damn it, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. No, I'm totally down.
Except for David Heatley, he's not invited.
Yeah, oh yeah. Or Jeff Loeb. I said the name. I said the word. Fuck. I'm sorry. I've been demoted. What is it? We have to put $5 in the... It's like a swear jar.
Right.
We have a Jeff Loeb jar.
Yeah. The money goes to pay for the bandwidth.
We're not allowed to say his name anymore. Sorry.
It's alright. I'll make you feel better. Jeff Loeb!
Alright.
There we go.
We're both putting
We're
$5
even.
in.
Alright.
So yeah, if you can find this comic, I mean, much like this is the A team of comic books. If you can find it,
Yeah.
and you're willing to go that extra mile to scrounge up, 8 back issues from 10 years ago,
Or the trade.
or the trade because it's out there somewhere.
Yep.
It's fucking awesome,
Yep.
and you need to read it. If you like punk rock, if you like zombies, if you like comic books,
Yep.
any of those 3 things, you need to read it.
I think, going back, not to head back towards the negative, but if, the reason why I loved it so much back when I first read it, it's like that, all of those things combined really appealed to me at my age then.
Right.
And now, 7 years later,
in your early 20s, right?
yeah, 23, and now that I'm 30, I don't really give so much a shit about punk rock anymore, and kind of tired of zombies.
Zombies I'm super tired of, especially in comics.
Oh, yeah.
But I think this is my favorite zombie comic of all time.
Oh, well, definitely, yeah. So, it doesn't appeal to me as much anymore on those levels, but it's still a pretty good comic, and I'd really recommend it to anyone. If you've ever had any passing interest in any of those things, punk rock, zombies, comic books.
Yeah. It's fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's nostalgic enough that you can be like, I remember being a teenager,
right,
being all awkward and weird. I'm still awkward and weird.
Yeah.
And then you read it and you're like, these guys understand. They're from the same from the same place. I mean, wow, that's some great art. Adams art. This screensaver is driving me crazy. I can't concentrate on anything. It's so good. That's what we need. I said this before. If we could somehow get, if people could download our show and the whole time it streams our audio plus your screensaver of this amazing artwork that you've put together. Because, this isn't a program you bought or whatever.
No, this just did my pictures.
Yeah, it's just all your scans. And I'm looking at Tim Bradstreet Punisher. I've looked at Bruce Timm Naked Ladies. There's so much good artwork. What is this coming up here?
Frank Cho
page.
Jungle Girl. No, something from Tom Strong.
So you guys are missing out. There's a whole other sense here. All you have is the auditory, and granted the auditory is
subpar.
It's subpar, but if you had the visual, it would all be worth it. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Oh well.
Yeah.
No one will ever know.
All right. So, anything else you want to say about this book?
I've never read anything else by these guys, but I think I'm gonna go back and check out some more because I like this so much more the second time I read it.
Like I said, it hasn't finished yet, but I think you might really get a kick out of Pirates of Coney Island. So,
I did like the artwork. I had no idea that Rick Spears wrote it.
Yeah, I think it's along the same line. It's like that last chunk of this book that I really, really enjoyed, just spread out through the whole thing.
That's great.
So I was really down for it. So I just wish you would fucking Rick Spears, wherever you are, finish your goddamn book.
What if it's finished and we just didn't order it? Or is it just not out there?
I actually looked that up just to make sure before I started ranting about it. It's just not out.
Because that occasionally happens. Like, if we're down to selling 0 or even sometimes 1,
right,
sometimes we stop carrying the stuff.
Yeah.
But
despite the fact that, I've been buying the book for, years.
Well, hopefully we wouldn't do it to that. Like, if we don't know, if we're like, well, we sold a copy, but we don't know who ordered it, then sometimes we just nix it.
Yeah. I think at that point you should start asking each individual customer.
All like 700 of them.
Yeah. All right, well, let's take a break and we'll be back.
All right.
We're rolling. Take one. Teenagers for Mark. We're going to eat.
I
Whew, that was refreshing.
Ooh, yes. I had a good pee during the break.
I had to get a beverage. It was parched, as they say.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know who says that, but someone does.
Somebody
out there. If you say the word parched, email us.
Yeah, at guttertrash.net.
And we'll randomly pick one listener to receive a free piece of original
parchment
art from Jason or Eric.
Yeah.
Preferably Jason, so I don't have to draw anything.
Oh, speaking of that, I tried to sell some artwork last night. Sort of. There was an art show downtown.
Yeah.
And I submitted 2 pieces. And then when I got there, there's this card you fill out, the name, the title, and the medium, and the price.
Right.
And I hadn't really thought about it, but I was like, I don't really want to sell either one of these things because I like them so much. They're both kind of nostalgic to me.
What were they?
I put in the first 2 comics I ever bought when I was 4 years old. I bought a Super Friends and a Justice League comic.
Right.
And I recreated the covers of them. And I put them in the art show, and I mounted the 2 actual comics under them.
Yeah.
And I put them in the show, and I was like, I really don't want to sell these because it's very nostalgic to me.
Right.
These 2 books really kind of shaped my life. I mean, look at me.
I know. I've offered you money for the Super Friends one.
Yeah, that's true. And I was when you did that too, I was like, wow, that is so cool that he would even offer that. And I feel like such a dick by saying I want to keep it, but that book just kind of is the first comic I ever bought.
Right.
And I was like, I want to do this piece of artwork and kind of have it as a reminder of this crazy path my life's went down, this nerdy
right.
dorky path. But so I put $200 on each one of them because I was like, no one would ever pay $200 for anything that I do.
Right.
And if they did, I would probably be fine with that.
Right,
because nostalgia is worth
it only gets you so far. Right.
Yeah. It has a value, but not $200. But needless to say, I didn't sell either one of them. But it was fun. It was fun to the best part was hiding. I would just kind of walk around, look at the other artwork, and I would occasionally steal glances in the direction of mine.
Right.
And sometimes I'd see people looking, and they'd always be looking at the framed comics, and they would raise their head and look at my version and look down, checking Superman or checking Flash to see how I drew them. And then it was just so much fun to watch people do this head bob thing. So that was cool.
On the Justice League one, did you ever add in Flash's ear things?
I did. I went back and you pointed out that I forgot 2 of the key elements of his costume, the wings on his mask and on his boots.
Yeah.
And then there's something else I did. I think I fixed
Superman's
something else.
hair.
I colored his hair in. Yeah. So I fixed it up.
So you do listen to me occasionally.
Occasionally, yeah. Yeah. I am probably going to buy a PC, as you've suggested, instead of a Mac.
That's good.
But, despite the pressure on from more than one people.
Those people are, since I know some of these people...
I was going to say, one of them is 100% of our listeners.
Yeah. Let me be more discreet, more level-headed about this. Those people who are suggesting that you should buy a Mac are probably wrong.
Wow, that was the most calm answer. I thought you were going to go for flaming douchebags.
Oh, I'm going to edit this when you leave. And
just put my words in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really fun. And you yourself have been doing some amazing cover recreations. You gave me you gave me a Doom Patrol cover recreation for Christmas.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol is one of my favorite comics of all time. The Grant Morrison run is arguably my favorite run of any comic ever. Yeah, I really appreciated your drawing, and people should check out your blog. Both of our blogs. we could pimp ourselves for a second. Check out our blogs. I'm sure there's links on our website.
There are.
There's good and bad art by both of us, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And
probably more of the latter.
And you can comment accordingly, and we won't take too much offense.
Yeah. You can find Jason's at buyerbewarecomics.blogspot.com.
Yeah.
Or you can also check out his kick-ass secondary site, fan49blogspot.com.
Yeah, we need to add another one to that.
Yeah, we do. Maybe tonight if we have more time.
Add yours.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, let's add yours.
Fuck.
I want to add yours.
But
while we're busy blowing each other, let's add yours.
Yeah, all right. And then mine is Seanborn.net. You can guess how it's spelled because I'm not going to take that time. And I don't want people to go there.
Yeah, why would you?
Yeah. I haven't updated it in like 2 months anyway. Just mostly because, I'm shitty.
Because you've been working 175 hours a day.
I have, and I'm tired.
Plus a 2-hour drive.
And 2-hour drive. Not that one. Just getting there and coming back.
Right. So yeah, good book. I'm really glad you chose that book. Seriously, like, I probably wouldn't have reread it for a while, and I may have never reread it. Who knows?
Right.
And I enjoyed it so much more the second time.
Good to hear.
And I really appreciate you picking it.
Hey, no problem. I occasionally try to pick a winner when I can.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is the Youngblood Omnibus.
Yes! I haven't read that in so long. The Youngblood with Obama in it came out this week. It was like Obama or Rama at Mavericks this week. There was a Youngblood with an Obama alternate cover where Obama picks the new members of the team or something equally ridiculous. And then there was a Savage Dragon variant where he's doing some sort of weird
the
dap
fist bump.
Yeah, I thought it was some sort of dap fist pump thing with Obama. And we have 5th printings of Spider-Man 583. So I swear it was
Do you have the IDW Obama comic?
No, but we had just ordered the Michelle Obama IDW comic. And I could, Jack was like, how many should we get of the Michelle Obama comic? And I was like, oh dear God, he's going to have me order 50 or 100 of these things. And I was like, we wrote down 2, and he was like, that's fine. I was so worried. Because at one time he seriously told me to order 1,000 copies of the Obama Spider-Man comic, the 5th printing. He was like, seriously, I think we should order 1,000 and put an ad out there that we're going to have them. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so over. It's over now.
Yeah. This is the 5th printing.
So we talked him out of it, and wow, Obama. And
how many copies of that do you have left?
We still have some, we ordered 150, and we still have some. So the other 850, that would have been maybe too many.
Yeah.
That's like Deathmate Valiant Image style, orders. Back when we ordered
X-Men #1,
Deathmate Yellow, we ordered 300 copies of it.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
Crazy.
So we're watching a movie.
No, we're not. What?
You want to do another show tonight?
All right.
Twisted your arm.
Yeah. That was I don't know. That was probably one of the worst segues we've ever done, and we've done some pretty fucking bad ones.
Oh.
But yeah,
I saw a guy on a Segway at Jungle Gyms in Cincinnati last week,
really?
Or 2 weeks ago. He was like a worker too. I mean, he was just going around on a Segway restocking and stuff.
Bunch of fucking hippies.
That was crazy.
One of these days, maybe I'll go to Jungle Gyms when I've had 10 hours of sleep beforehand and fully caffeinated and ready to walk 50 miles.
That place is great. It's the largest grocery store I've ever seen. They have
they have a monorail.
They have a monorail around this grocery store. Their beer section is the size of 1.5 of the store that I work at.
Yeah,
I mean that's crazy.
Yeah,
and it's awesome too. I bought half of my grocery bill was beer when I went there. But yeah.
So yeah, I guess we're gonna try to do a second show tonight.
Right.
And it's my movie pick. Is it?
Yeah, it's your movie pick.
Right.
I hope so, because all I have is a comic pick in my mind.
So I'm gonna pick something that I own. I hope you haven't seen it.
Okay.
I'd asked you about it a long time ago, and you said you hadn't seen it, but it was a long time ago, and anything could have happened.
Oh, I haven't watched any movies other than here or movies that I've already seen in the last 2 years.
Okay. Well, the movie I'm going to pick is Hot Fuzz.
Oh, cool! I've never seen that. I actually want to see that too. Does that have Simon Pegg in it?
Yeah, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, directed by Edgar Wright. Same guy as what brought us Shaun of the Dead.
That's awesome. That's what I want to see.
All right.
That's funny too because that was on my list of things I was thinking about picking when I picked Shoot 'Em Up. I was like, Hot Fuzz, maybe. So that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right.
Was that Kirby?
That was Kirby, Silver Surfer,
Nice.
and someone else I couldn't tell. Maybe Thanos. It was
I think I saw Doctor Doom.
could have been Doctor Doom. Maybe it was Ed McGuinness. Because Kirby and Ed McGuinness, I confuse them all the time.
Yeah, they're kind of similar, except for not at all.
Oh, yeah.
Ed McGuinness drew the new issue of Hulk that came out this week. With a variant cover by Arthur Adams, which, I gotta say, one of the weaker Art Adams covers I've ever seen.
Oh.
It was still better than 80% of what
Right.
was on the shelf that week, but as far as Art Adams go, subpar.
Yeah. So, I know we're not supposed to be talking about it, but I think you have to tell the story.
Oh, with the Hulk?
Yeah.
The Jim Skachalka?
No, the guy who came into Mavericks.
Oh, yeah. I can't even give you his name, but I won't. He came into Mavericks this week, and he picked up his stack of funny books out of his file, and one of them was the new issue of Hulk. It was number 10 or 11, and he flips through it, and he sees this glorious Ed McGuinness art, which it is glorious. I love that guy, but he goes, "Oh man," he's like, "Do you think they're ever going to bring back Winda Hulk? That was awesome." And I was like, I said to him, I hope so. And then I died a little bit. Winda Hulk, people, seriously, you want more of that?
The fans have spoken.
Man, and Michael Diana is not allowed to draw comics, and Jeff Loeb's allowed to write them. What kind of topsy-turvy world is this? Oh my god.
That's awesome. So many ways.
I would pay the CBD. I would donate $500 if they could prevent Winda Hulk from ever appearing in another comic. If you're out there, CBLDF, call Jeff Loeb, call Gutter Trash. I will donate $500 to CBDLDF. What it's Comic Book Legal Defense Fund.
Right.
If you promise no more Winda Hulk. I'm serious.
That is some strong words.
I'm serious.
I
got my tax return on the way. $500 is yours. If Winda Hulk never sees the light of day again.
Wow. I kind of wish this would happen now.
Yeah, me too. I'm down.
All right. Well, the challenge is out there. Let's hear from the other people. So our 3 listeners, let's get the word out.
Yeah, spread it around the water cooler.
Yeah. All right. So you want to go do another show?
Let's watch Hot Fuzz.
Sweet. All right.
Later.
Gutter Trash can be downloaded at www.guttertrash.net, iTunes, Podcast Alley, and Feedburner. You can also find us at myspace.com/guttertrash_net, seanborn.net, and buyerbewarecomics.blogspot.com. Contact us at eric@guttertrash.net or jason@guttertrash.net. Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. We'll see you next time.